My father worked for Telus for over 20 years. And I know many in this group know a lot about the history of Telus, but maybe there's a couple that don't. You know, Telus was really born out of the government of Alberta's desire to privatize this industry. So they created a holding company called Telus. And they moved the Alberta government telephones into that holding company to make that transaction happen. And a couple years later, in 1995, Telus bought an entity called EdTel, which was a subsidiary from the city of Edmonton. And my father worked for EdTel for 15 years. That's him right there. And then he worked with Telus a number of years later. He passed away in 2008. And I personally, I love EdTel. Okay, I thought, when I was growing up, I thought EdTel was badass. They had this logo, and I'm really convinced, by the way, that Elon Musk stole the EdTel logo for the Tesla logo. The resemblance is clear. I don't know about you. But I remember, going up to the Telus towers occasionally on the weekends. My dad would take me, and I would go up the elevators and go to the floor and see his cubicle. And I thought Telus was one of the coolest places in the world. I thought they had the most innovative technology. They had one piece of technology. It was called the color printer. It was phenomenal. It was amazing. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to say this with peace and love, that I actually stole some color prints from Telus. I printed stuff out at Telus, and you should have seen me. I walked in the door to my elementary school class, and I put it on the teacher's desk. Immediately, everybody started applauding. They went crazy. It was phenomenal. And I also want to mention, by the way, that I love EdTel so much that I actually own the Web3 name for EdTel. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But it's funny when it comes to the color printer. My kids, they're immersed in this whole digital world. The iPad, the iPhone, and their favorite technology is the color printer. They're amazed that you could take a digital thing, a digital picture, and print it tangibly. They're amazed by this. But it's been remarkable to see the evolution of Telus over the years, and really the evolution of communication, starting with, we had the telephone, then we had the internet and email and texting and social media and wearables, social audio. We're talking about the metaverse, and of course, the most important communication medium of all time, which is memes right now. That's the most important communication medium now. And the other thing is voice notes. By the way, I want to tell you, I hate voice notes. Millennials spent decades trying to destroy voicemails, only for Gen Z to resurrect voice notes. I swear to God, this happened to me yesterday. Somebody sent me 10 minutes of voice notes. 10 minutes. If you are sending more than 1 minute of voice notes, you should be arrested. All right? 10 minutes of voice notes. Just start a podcast at that point and send it to me. I'm still not going to listen to it. But this is the state of communication. It's just evolved, and it's going to continue to evolve.